This is the future.
Okay, before going into the video, guess who started the evolution of Warframe rework? What Warframe do you think started it all? Just a small hint, this was the first time we see the godly work of Pablo, the Midas of Warframe, wherein everything he touches turns into gold. I know he had worked on so many Warframes right now, but for me, the first one well documented was Nizza. Pablo was the one who highlighted the changes in Nizza, and after that, all has become history, and since then, we have seen good reworks on old Warframe and hell. After the Nizza rework was the Wukong rework, which was also featured by Pablo, and it went bananas as Wukong become from an in-metal Warframe only, to the meta and probably the best and most popular Warframe in the game. But we are not going to talk about Wukong here, instead we will focus on what did Pablo changed with Nizza, and how it became some sort of a blueprint for future Warframe reworks. So the main goal of the Nizza rework was to make the Warframe feel smoother and more fluid in gameplay, and increase its power overall by giving him added team support value and internal synergies. First off, they have increased max rank health from 225 to 375 but decreased max rank shields from 225 to 150. Then, Firewalker was changed from a channeling ability to a duration based. As a channeled ability, keeping Firewalker active would block all energy regeneration. Making the ability a single cast with a long moddable duration solves that problem, encouraging more frequent use. Also, the cast animation changed to a small hop that doesn't restrict movement. Moving on, we got his second ability called Blazing Chakram. The cast animation has been sped up, and no longer restricts movement. Also, enemies hit by the disc are marked for a moddable duration, greatly increasing the damage they take from all sources. Marked enemies have a chance to drop energy orbs. This adds great team value to Nizza's kit. Increasing damage taken helps all allies, and energy orb drops enable frequent recasting. In addition, they added a feature wherein killing enemies while they are marked will now produce healing orbs, instead of the current healing pulse. The past radial heal is invisible and very small, usually only benefiting players in melee range. Most players don't even know it's there. Health orbs make the result more visible, while introducing other mod synergies. They also increased the number of targets the disc will try to hit before recalling, and improved some cases of faulty lock-on targeting. Added a charge throw, causing the chakram to fly straight forwards and backwards, dealing extra damage to enemies in its path for a consistent flight path unaffected by lock-on targeting. Use the new charge throw, which is perfect for hallways. And lastly, teleporting will no longer cancel Firewalker. Next, they have reworked the warding halo totally from a budget Rhino skin to a better survivability fitted for the kit of Nizza. Warding halo now only blocks 90% of damage taken, will still block status effects and other procs. When considering Nizza's revamped kit, he is excellent at mitigating enemy damage. Firewalker and Divine Spears offer great area, crowd control, Blazing Chakram offers healing and self-sustain, and his outstanding movement can make the player a hard target to hit. In this context, Warding Halo's 100% damage resistance was completely overshadowing his other options. Why heal or CC when I never take any damage? With 90% damage resistance, Izu is still very capable of tanking, but encouraged to rely on his other tools to avoid getting overwhelmed. Taking minimal health damage allows for synergy with Blazing Chakram's health orbs, not to mention new modding avenues like Equilibrium, health conversion, and various arcanes. The change also allows us to improve survivability in other ways, such as the increased health pool, and major warding halo quality of life buffs such as the damage absorption and vulnerability phase now begins as soon as you cast the ability. The cast animation also sped up, increased incoming damage multiplier during invulnerability. The damage absorption multiplier also now scales with power strength. When the health of the warding halo runs out, it will do a no heat status effect and give you a short period of invulnerability. This gives the player precious time to react, helping survivability while controlling the enemies immediately around you. Your next warding halo can be recast during this window to ensure you're always protected. The best part is, you can actually remove the energy hungriness of Nizza, as with warding halo. You can actually take full advantage of Rage or Hunter Adrenaline mod, and it's a very good skill since after depleting the health of warding halo, it will trigger the invulnerability. Somehow, you can make a Lifesteal Rage or Hunter Adrenaline build on this, which will repeat the process of losing life of warding Halo, then activating the invulnerability effect and gaining life again with setups such as a melee Lifesteal build. And lastly, Divine Spears was sped up and the casting or slamming animations is way faster now, while removing the mandatory slam at the end of the spear's duration. Lastly, hitting a speared enemy with Blazing Chakram produces a second chakram, which fires at a nearby enemy. With this rework, it turns Nizar into a complete Warframe that can crowd control, survive, deal damage and debuff enemies. He is also capable of speed and awesome mobility if you wanted to build him like that, and honestly, Izu is one of those Warframes that are super good but only a few players use it. I know the reasoning is always the same, and they will say that there is a better Warframe for the job, but, if you think of it, Nizar can do good also while providing a fun experience, as it will give you a whole new playstyle but the same result. Right now, I'm having so much fun with the recently buffed Pyroclastic Flow Augment, turning Nizar into a fire god that burns enemies to death. We might always talk that Wukong is the best blueprint for any Warframe rework, but honestly, it never started with Wukong, it started with Nizar, and I think he was the first Warframe that actually gets a decent rework from Digital Extremes. I hope that in the future Pablo will continue this blueprint to other old Warframes and somehow we can finally see Hydroid riding those meta waves. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.